One of the more advanced concepts that we talk about here at Juicy Results is this idea that people buy identities, not just products. Now, the first time you hear that, it may be kind of hard to get your head wrapped around what I mean when I say that people buy identities and not products. But really, it makes a lot of sense because when you think about it, at the end of the day, we all have a very strong opinion about who we are, the kind of person that we are, how we react in certain situations, and who we're going to be as we get older. And so every action we take, including purchases, either move us closer to who we think we are, basically bringing us into congruence, or it takes us a step away from who we are or who we're trying to be. And that creates some internal friction, whether people realize it or not. And so I like to use the example of hotel rooms when I talk about people buying identities. Because at its core, the idea of a hotel room is very consistent. You're buying a certain block of time, say 24 hours, with 4 walls and a bed where you can actually spend the night. But the pricing range and the branding and the options within the hotel industry are absolutely infinite. Now, why is that? That's because the kind of person who thinks that all hotel rooms look alike when your eyes are closed, people actually say that, are going to sleep in a very different kind of hotel than somebody who thinks, life is short and they want the best of everything. And they only travel, 1 or 2 times a year, and when they do that, they want to stay at the absolute best place and have the absolute best experience. Now, that person's identity is very different than the person who believes that all hotel rooms look alike when you're sleeping. And there's all kinds of little variations in the middle there. They're the kind of people who identify themselves as, forward-thinking and an innovator, and they may stay at a more trendy place or a new concept in hotels. And you've, of course, got the people who are only going to stay at the most traditional places because they always know what to expect and they always know that everything they need is going to be taken care of. And then, of course, you've got people who want to stay at very secure locations because they have a lot of concern about security. These are all internal identities that are causing us to make purchasing decisions about a very similar product in a multitude of ways. So how can you use this in your marketing? Well, first of all, this drives home how important it is to actually have a strong understanding of who your customer persona is. And we've talked about that in more than one Juicy Bits video in the past. Once you understand who your target customer is, you can really start to make guesses about who that person thinks they are and who they aspire to be. And you want to make sure that you're using marketing message that reminds them that every time they buy from you, do business with you, use your product, experience your service, whatever it is, that it's bringing them more and more in line with who they believe they are, which is creating congruency, which is a very strong subconscious pull. Now, anytime you're challenging someone's self-identification, then you're actually creating a lot of resistance in the buying process and probably much more than you think you do. So the most important thing you can do is make sure that you're never using language or never causing your customer to basically go against who they believe they are by using your product or service. So hope that makes sense. We've written a lot more about that on the Juicy Results blog. It's a really strong principle when you understand that people buy identities and not just products.